Um, Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Eat Healthy, Fight Diabetes page and my group. Hello, fam and friends, and also my YouTube channel on this one. So, what I wanted to actually do today, because today is basically sort of like a catch up of what's been sort of happening and things, and also a little announcement that I'm actually going to start off with. And that announcement is basically to do with, and let me get this right. So I've got things to keep me on track. And I hope you can see this. I am now officially a Nutrition Network advisor. So I've completed the training. And so I have, I'm a Nutrition Network advisor in the low carb, healthy fat, keto nutrition side of things. All right, so yay! I actually got this last week after actually completing it, but for some reason that email was in my spam folder. Don't know why, but I found it. I was actually expecting it, because I think I had actually said that I had completed it a few weeks ago anyway, and I was just waiting on their confirmation. So that's really cool. There we go. But I'm also studying, because this is actually really good and everything else. So, yeah, that's really good, because that's specializing in that low carb, high fat, keto side of things. But I'm actually studying towards being a nationally recognized nutritionist, recognized in Australia, and actually I think it's New Zealand as well, but mainly in Australia. And so I'll be able to actually have be insured as well, so that I can deal with clients and I can provide them with meal plans. Now, it is within a scope with that particular certification, that I will only be able to sort of deal with clients that do not have chronic disease, right? So they're generally healthy, but they could be overweight, or they don't actually have any sort of ailments and things. But if I wanted to actually help those ones, for example, if they've got pre-diabetes or diabetes, because that is actually technically a chronic disease, then I would have to actually undergo the whole sort of university qualification of being a dietitian. And I think at this point of stage, I actually don't want to actually go down that track at all. I just want to be able to encourage people and coach people through wherever they are currently at. Now, that won't be in that sort of formal capacity of being a nutritionist, but I'll be able to sort of like at least advise on a few sort of general things for people. And when they get to that stage, when they have, like in my instance, I didn't require like a dietitian and everything else to reverse my diabetes, my pre-diabetes, but I did reverse it, and I reversed it purely based on following, a low carb, high fat way of eating that I'm maintaining, because it is a lifestyle. It is something that I'm just continually doing, because if I actually treated it like a diet and it was all sort of temporary, then what do I actually go to? What's my main maintenance regime? It's basically the habits that got me to there in the first place, and that's not what I want to do. So you do change everything around, but you get used to it, and in the end you actually don't even think about how you're sort of eating. You are conscious of what not to eat, but you just can't carry on with your day. Your energy levels still are up there, and everything is actually so far all good. All right. So, but I do want to be able to provide people with actual nutritional meal plans. And so this is why I'm actually doing the certification, so I can actually study in general, basically the metabolic health, metabolism. And at the moment, I'm sort of going through, I'm nearly at the end of unit 1. There's about 12, 14 units, and I've got 12 months to actually complete it. I can actually complete it in 6 months. Just depends on, priorities. But I mean, what's the rush? I'm actually practicing as I go anyway and things. So yeah, but I actually want to do that certification so I can actually be in nutrition. And then afterwards, this will come more into play. There's continual learning on this side of things, because after getting the general knowledge and at a recognized level about nutrition, I do want to actually go into more of a specialty field of why low carb, high fat is, in my opinion, the way to actually go that has the best results, low carb, high fat, and keto, when it comes to actually doing things with diabetes, which is a good follow on now to another catch up, which is to do with the 21-day diabetes testing phase that I and a couple of my cousins are going through. Now, let me share the screen. I'll give you like a quick sort of snapshot of what it is. It's very similar to if you guys were actually doing the August Healthy Habits Challenge along with me, then it's very similar, because it's from the organization that actually did, that I modeled that challenge on. So let me share. Am I sharing this? Okay, hang on. Share the screen. Okay, so basically that's the organisation. They're based over in Auckland, New Zealand, and they're working on a new platform. They've got a course out, it's a fairly new course on diabetes, and they basically asked for some people to actually test it through them. So today is actually day 4 of their course, and they do have like a preliminary type of setup where you go through and basically get an understanding of what you're going to be covering, and then you go through each day and you just do them on the day. So you don't binge and do all of them. Basically, you just do them one day at a time, and you follow it up with a quiz and things. So all of it's supposed to be the fact that it just fits around your current sort of learning. It's only about 10 minutes of learning, and then it's just, it might have a bit of a practical thing on it. I know one of the first practical ones was asking to sort of take a picture of your pantry and your fridge, because what should really be full is your fridge with the fresh fruit, fresh food, rather than your pantry, which has usually got all the processed and boxed type of foods that we really want to change and move away from and things. Okay, so that basically is what I'm doing. And because I'm part of a testing group with my couple of cousins, I decided to actually put together every day that I is a lesson. I'm actually just walking through, recording the actual walkthrough of that particular day, what we're actually seeing, what we're going to be covering, and just sort of like a video documentary. Maybe they're vlogs, if you're familiar with that sort of old term and things. So I'm just putting it on there and making that available to my cousins, to sort of help them along if they get a bit sort of confused or just need that extra bit of support for them. All right, so that was basically the other thing that I'm currently actually working on to do with health. The third one, and I'll go back to stop sharing. The third one is to do with this one. And this is actually day 11. Day 11. I just posted about an hour ago on the Tokelau Geola group page, for those who are actually familiar with it. It's basically a page sort of set up, I think, for Tokelauans to sort of focus in on health and exercise predominantly, and nutrition and things. So they did throw out an 8-week challenge for people to take part in, all voluntary. And of course, I seem to like challenges. So I am actually taking part in that one. And it's actually really good to have this sort of like daily sort of posting on there, because it helps sort of motivate and keep people like on track if they actually don't feel like it. Because there are days where you don't really feel like exercising. And but there's a funny thing that sort of happens if you actually make it like a routine, and or you treat it like a what they call a non-negotiable thing, where it's like it's just something that you're going to do. It's not even something that you're going to debate. It's just something that it's like, I don't feel like it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Just like you may not feel like going to school or going to work, but you do it anyway, right? So it's just trying to see exercise and health in that context as well, all right, as being a non-negotiable thing. So I'm taking part in that challenge. This is day 11 out of an 8-week challenge, and it is focusing on just doing daily exercise and posting, pictures up or a video up, and just what you're actually doing in terms of like the nutrition side of things each day and how you're actually maintaining that. So it's all part of that community thing. It's a good challenge. And so far going well. Thanks. All right. So that's the other thing that I've been taking part in. Now, in terms of what's like coming up, well, I'm going to be doing, because health is like my passion side of things, and I love learning new things every day about everything to do with health. But I also do have a side, that pays the bills until we can do something with the health. But that is to do with my design and my business side of things. So I'm actually going to focus in on the last remainder of this year, quite a lot more to do with that one. But because I'm actually doing quite a few things already in health, you probably won't notice a difference, but that's okay. But that's sort of like a personal thing that's actually coming up for me. And probably the last thing I want to end up today is actually just sort of show. If you caught it a few days ago, I actually had my second jab of the COVID Pfizer one. And I mean, I've always been sort of like, into immunization, right? Me, kids, when they were younger, yeah, you do this thing. And so this one, I know I can understand people who have basically, opinions or a stance on whether they do or they don't. But for me personally, I made that decision. And also my family. So we're basically, we've all had the double dose. And I think the ones in New Zealand have also had the double dose as well. And I just wanted to show you. I wonder if I can actually just bring it up. Bring it up. And let's see if I can just bring this one up. Here we go. Here's basically the confirmation and the certificate, which basically says like from the 5th of October. So, and the dates received, there was like a 5-week interval on that one. So that's basically the green tick, which I guess it's because there are things actually opening up. I don't know how they're going to sort of manage the policing of this, but I know in let me stop sharing again. In Sydney, where I live, because technically today we're still in this kind of lockdown type of phase, but on Monday, we're supposedly starting to open up. There are restrictions, but we're opening up, particularly for those who are actually double vaccinated. So, I mean, have finished their 2 doses. So I guess with that confirmation, and that's a legal kind of confirmation, it'll just be recorded against you. So when they require proof, just like with scanning when we go into various places, so they could do the COVID tracing, I guess it would be on there as well, where it's like if they want proof or they want to check whether you've actually had your 2 doses, then it's actually that certification that you actually show. All right. So, and I do know also that when they start opening up the international borders, particularly like in New Zealand, which will be really good, that they'll make it a bit easier to actually I don't know whether it's actually confirmed. I think they're talking about it, that it could be a possibility with those ones that have had are fully vaccinated, that will be able to actually isolate at home, at least in that sort of, they'll be the first ones. And then eventually, I think they'll probably start opening that up. I think so. We're getting there. We're getting there. The world has changed. But it'll be good to actually get back to that kind of thing. So, all right. So that's basically my input onto where things are currently at, what's been up. And I think we'll just leave it for now. And I will catch you again on these channels as well about something else related to health. Okay. So have a great day. Catch you later. Bye-bye.